Hi crypto peeps, hope you're doing well this week. As we speak today on 3rd of August 2022, Bitcoin is holding fast at around about $23,402. So not doing too bad in my opinion in this very strange financial climate. Okay, so let's get straight to my first piece of news here, shall we, on the Crypto News Bites. This is on the Bitcoinist, and it's Bitcoin miner revenues see double digits increase as the price recovers. Bitcoin miner revenues took a tumble over the last few months when the price had plummeted. It had dealt a massive blow to the miners whose primary revenue relied on the price of Bitcoin. Daily miner revenues had eventually fallen below the 18 million 2 weeks ago, setting a new yearly low. This had driven down the profitability of mining activities for all miners, and they had to sell a good portion of their Bitcoin holdings. However, a miner's revenues did a complete 180 in the last 77 days. Reports from Arcane Research show that a daily miner revenues had grown by double digits in just the last week alone. They had jumped from the previous week's $17.7 million to add almost $3 million daily dollars for the last 7 days. This has led to a 15.46% change in this time period, painting a better picture for miners going forward. So that's great news there. It also says here the recovery had lined up with the Bitcoin finally breaking above $23,000 and even briefly touching $24,000. During this time, network activity had ramped up and there was a significant jump in the daily transaction volumes. This metric had scored a 21.20 increase on the space of a week. There's a bit more details there if that one interests you, but it's a good story and it shows some good developments right now, especially as the rest of the world seems to be crashing when it comes to financial and other things. As with all the news bites we have here today, the links are down below, so if you want to read them in full, go ahead and do that. I recommend you guys do that. The next article here is on Fast Company, and it's 4 changes in the NFT space that will inform the future of art and Web3. This goes on to say NFTs have come a long way since their ideation 10 years ago. NFTs have boomed in popularity and presented a new way for artists to mint and sell their work. They can connect directly with their audience and provide proof of ownership. 4 recent developments in the Web3 space illustrate the way NFTs are not only changing the art world, but becoming the future of asset ownership and exchange for Web3. And number 1 here is increased investments. Recent innovations associated with NFTs have solved many of the questions surrounding digital asset ownership, and as such there's been an increasement in investment in the NFT space. Number 2, reimagining business frameworks. Web3's growing reputation is continuing to capture the attention of entrepreneurs from all industries who recognize the possibilities offered by NFTs, digital ownership or DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and other Web3 innovations. Point 3. Access, inclusivity, and exclusivity. NFTs have completely upended the way that the world, including students and spectators, artists and collectors, is able to consume art. And number 4, more in real life experiences. NFTs live in the digital realm but can also be tied to real world items. Similarly, while the NFT community exists vibrantly online, it's also finding ways to connect in real life, especially amongst art lovers. And again, with all that, there's some filler information in between all that, so have a look at that one if that one interests you. If Web3, the new technology that's coming online, interests you, and just how things are changing up and how they're developing and evolving. Moving next here on Finbold, Cardano-based smart contracts surpassed the 3,000 mark for the first time. The Cardano or ADA network had a significant update in September 2021, which included the incorporation of smart contract functionality, making the blockchain capable of faster scalability and performance. While with the latest Vasio hard fork on the horizon, plus Scripts, a Cardano-based smart contracts platform, has hit over 3,000 smart contracts. And there's a graph there showing that on the Plutus Scripts network. So if that one interests you, have a look at the details there before. You know, I know there are quite a lot of you out there that follow us here on CryptoViewing. You hold Cardano, and in fact, I hold several thousand of that one myself. So I'm still watching for that one for the future, and it's looking good, looking strong. On Forbes here, watch out Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Blockchain is coming for you. Goes on to say, a number of converging trends have accelerated the idea of blockchain. COVID has forced us to wrap ourselves more in our digital personas, be it on Facebook, Zoom, or Amazon, and managing them is time-consuming and tedious. At the same time, we are seeing a decreasing level of trust in institutions and their ability to service and protect us. We trust less and less our centralized systems that they can take care of us and what we need. The rise of even more self-determinization or gig economy, moving jobs, and life balance, they feed on each other to drive a greater sense of self inside everything we do and we're represented by. It goes on to say here, Web3 is not just an incremental shift in our virtual experiences, it's a giant leap. There's more details in between this, so have a look at that, but I'm just going to pick you some news bites here. The conversation today is less about the social media platforms dominating our personal expressions, but the shift away from platform economy that has dominated Web 2 to the open source self-identification economy that will dominate in the next 10 years. This will drive a whole new sense of worth, identification, privacy, and completely restructure what assets we own, trade, and borrow against. Below are our future comings that we can look forward to. The first one here is social media platforms become obsolete as blockchain enables the complete movement of who you are, in part or in whole, from one environment to another. Financial institutions will move from monolithic paper-based systems to self-deterministic back offices where the customer owns their financial documentation in a blockchain process. Patients will own our records for all our healthcare, and we can each decide how to sell what portions of our data with or without our digital IDs. And most of the world has access to a cell phone, but billions of people do not have access to banking. The idea of blockchain should enable everyone to have access to banking. So have a read of that one if that interests you. As I said, and I've always said, during these new bites, we've got some great developments coming. It's a long, slow process, it needs another 5 to 10 years for this to fully develop. We are all still ahead of the crest of the wave here on CryptoViewing and our news bites, so keep in there, people. On the CoinDesk here, this is an interesting article. This has just happened over the last few hours, literally over the last 12 hours. Sol Tokens holds its price support after a $1 million hack brings bad optics for Solana. And early on Wednesday morning, an unknown attacker drained at least $5 million of Sol and other tokens from Solana digital wallets. Solana's Sol token held onto critical support early Wednesday, even as a multi-million-dollar hack in the Ethereum alternative ecosystem saw several investors vent frustration, saying they consider shorting or positioning for a decline in the cryptocurrency. The exploit saw an unknown attacker drain at least $5 million worth of Sol from other Solana-based tokens from the Phantom and Slope digital wallets. There's some details about it there. While Sol was trading weaker in the wake of the news, so far sellers have failed to penetrate the 50-day simple moving average, or the SMA, and that support level is at $37.50. Sol's losses appear muted, considering hacks and exploits have historically led to double-digit price slides in tokens associated with victim crypto platforms. So it's holding well at the moment, but it's early days yet. Let's see how that develops over the next 24 hours or so, but be aware. There's lots of hacking out there at the moment, and the next story also continues that. And this is on CNBC here today. Hackers drained nearly $200 million from crypto startup in a free-for-all attack. Hackers yanked almost $200 million in crypto from the Nomad, a so-called blockchain bridge. Blockchain bridges allow users to transfer tokens from one network to another, and they become a prime target for hackers seeking to swindle investors out of millions. Hackers drained almost $200 million in cryptocurrency from Nomad, a tool that lets users swap tokens from one blockchain to another, in yet another attack highlighting weaknesses in the decentralized finance space. Nomad acknowledged the exploit in a tweet late Monday. It said, "We are aware of the incident involving Nomad Token Bridge. We are currently investigating and will provide updates when we have them. It's not entirely clear how the attack was orchestrated or if Nomad plans to reimburse users who lost tokens in the attack. The company, which markets itself as a secure cross-chain messaging services, wasn't immediately available for comment when contacted by CNBC. Blockchain security experts described the exploit as a free-for-all. Anyone with knowledge of the exploit and how it worked could seize on the floor and withdraw an amount of tokens from Nomad, sort of like a cash machine spewing out money at the tap of a button." So if Nomad are on your radar, or any other bridges, please keep that in mind. Look at the information that's below here. There's a lot more information in there. Really look at what's going on in the sphere. A lot of this stuff, because it's new technology, is very insecure and full of holes at the moment. We have to be honest with that. Again, I'm buying Finbold here again. Binance loses 90% of users after implementing KYC, or Know Your Currency, losing billions in revenue. One of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, Binance, like most of its counterparts, has to face the challenges of money laundering, terrorist financing, and bad press. 3 of the most senior members of Binance compliance team recently discussed the challenges that the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, by trading volume, faces in these areas and how it affected them in an interview by CoinDesk on August 1st. Notably, Binance made the contentious decision in July 2021 to reduce the maximum amount of Bitcoin that customers without Binance Know Your Currency accounts may withdraw from 2 Bitcoin to 0.06 Bitcoin. However, according to one of Binance's lead compliance officers, the move has cost the crypto exchange billions in revenue. They went on to say, we've lost 90% of customers after implementing KYC, losing billions in revenue. Now, that might be a bit of a misquote here, as the tweet later went on to follow, so read the information on that and see what you think about that, especially if you're investing in Binance or if you use Binance. Really understand what's going on there and what they're doing with, essentially your money. Now, this is a bit of a fun article here. This is on the Daily Mail. Australian computer expert who says he invented Bitcoin wins just £1 in damages for giving deliberately false evidence in a High Court libel case after he sued a blogger who said he was a fraud. Australian Dr. Craig Wright, or I like to know him as Fake Toshi, purportedly Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, sued blogger Peter McCormack for libel over a series of tweets in 2019 that alleged his claim to be the enigmatic inventor was fraudulent. In a ruling on Monday, Mr. Justice Chamberlain concluded that the tweets and video discussion broadcast on YouTube, where Mr. McCormack made similar claims, had caused serious harm to Dr. Wright's reputation. But the High Court judge limited Dr. Wright's damages to £1 after he put forward a deliberately false case over being disinvented from academic conferences because of the tweets until days before the libel trial in May. Just goes to show to the credibility of this guy here, Dr. Craig Wright, or I like to call him Fake Toshi. He definitely is not Satoshi Nakamoto. So what we do here now, that's all the main news that I picked up. Some big things happening. As I said, keep an eye on those hacks. 2 big hacks right now. But, we also want to present you some of the video news. And there's some fantastic video news outlets out there at the moment. I use a lot of YouTube sources for video links. So the first one here is, bear with me, this is on Coin Bureau here at the moment. This is a big favourite of mine. They put out news several times a week. Fantastic stuff. And this talks about the ETH merge, Sol, Bitcoin, the SEC lawsuit, macroeconomics, and lots more on that. So that's a recommended one. Please watch that. That guy puts out great content on Coin Bureau. The next one here, this is a bit more standard news, a bit more following the line, but it's good to listen to see what these people are saying in the big institutions. So this is Bloomberg Crypto here, and this is a full show. It lasts 23 minutes. Have a look at that, because it's got some good insights. The next one up here, again, is another toe-the-line company, Yahoo Finance. But again, it's good to see what they're talking about. Crypto hackers drained nearly $200 million in Nomad theft. And they covered this today, and it's a 4-minute video. So have a look at that as well. Keep informed on what's going on in the space. The third one here, again, another standard TV service. CNBC television, but this is about Bitcoin dips, the SEC charges, Ponzi schemes, the outlook for NFTs, and huge amounts of stuff. So it's a 10-minute video, but it's got lots of bits in there, so it just keeps you generally informed out there. And the final one I have today for you, this is great. Again, this is every day this guy puts out videos. It's a fantastic resource of information. And this is prepare for Ethereum's parabolic next move as ETH flips Bitcoins in the options market. So have a look at that video, see what his impressions are on that, because it's all coming soon and it's coming fast. So that's pretty much it for the news for this week. I hope you like this. As with all the news, I collect news every single day, and I collect it in my Crypto Bytes magazine. They're approaching 5,000 articles in there. The link to that's down below as well. All the links to all the news are there. Let me know your comments. Let me know your feelings and your thoughts on any of these news stories. Have a great week ahead. Take care of yourself out there. It's a rocky, dangerous place out there in some levels. Have a great week. Namaste, and I'll see you soon.